All right, looks like we are finally close to seeing Lea Jansen and Salome Devidze in this women's semifinal. They have found 2 more lines judges, so we have all the lines covered. And we are...
Game 1, time
the
in,
spot
0-0.
is stirred before we even start, so let's play pickleball.
And Devidze begins with the serve and already a side out.
0-0.
So Jansen on the right side of your screen and Devidze on the left, and Jansen gets the first point.
1-0.
Yeah, and as we mentioned, Devidze comes in here beating Catherine Parento.
Came in ranked number 2 in the PPA women's singles rankings, and Devidze able to get the serve back.
Zero one.
Devidze, you mentioned, a native of Georgia, 36 years old. Great backhand there by Jansen.
Yeah, so Jansen will be playing a very aggressive style. She comes off making it to the final at the Tournament of Champions up in Utah, the last PPA stop. So definitely in good form from singles. There you see the before every point, just sort of centering process she goes through to prepare herself for each point, and that has worked well for her in her whole mental approach. There's another good look at it.
Jansen, also from a tennis background, played collegiately at Washington State University. And the side out here.
Zero two.
Nice get there by Jansen. And then the miss hit into the net after a couple of beautiful shots on the baseline by Jansen.
Yeah, tremendous to get back to even or even slightly ahead there, and then
1-2.
Misses the forehand.
Jansen covering so much ground, but unable to catch up with that one. And Devidze knots it up at 2 apiece.
Yeah, quality point from Devidze there. As you mentioned, Jansen side to side to side.
Winner of this one will get a date on Sunday with 15-year-old Annalie Waters, who is a runaway train right now in terms of her dominance in the women's singles. Well, really every women's pro doubles, mixed doubles.
Point.
And the point here puts Jansen back on top 3-2.
So
Waters
has had some trouble with returns here so far.
Waters earlier today got to the championship by beating Anna Bright 11-2, 11-6. Into the net there by Devidze. Jansen now with a 2-point advantage.
Yeah, so Jansen is definitely going to keep going for her serve. She will take the net if it is not taken by Devidze. She wants to be the aggressor.
Point.
Make it 5-2 for Jansen.
And now we have a ball controversy to go with our line judges controversy, so we have double controversy. Because that return by Devidze hit like 4 squares up. And our fine referee, Mr. Hast, is seeing if there's anything wrong.
There's no crack, it's a point.
Anything wrong with the ball. If there's a huge crack in the ball, you can have a replay based on that happening.
See if that one is there. If it is brand new, okay. Let's look over in the basket here.
Okay, so now we're going to switch the ball out. So all sorts of non-between-the-lines play activities happening here, but Devidze's got to get her
There's no door. Yeah, it still shows
return going here because she has missed several returns to give
here, so it doesn't...
Lea Jansen the lead here, and now we're making sure the ball is okay from all players. So we've got line judges that you see there. We got a new ball in play. Dave, what else is going to happen here?
Well, hopefully we're just going to see good pickleball.
I would like that myself.
5-2.
Devidze, you mentioned her beating Parento in the her previous match. Needed 3 games to do it. Lost the first game 5-11, but then won 11-0 and 11-6. But she's in a hole here now against Lea Jansen.
6-2.
Oh, what a backhand there by Jansen.
There you see the Washington State tennis prowess there. Just rips the two-hander again.
And now Devidze is asking for a timeout.
And a very slow-moving, short return with so many options. Jansen threads the needle.
We'll step aside for a quick break. 7-2 Jansen here in game 1. So a lot of high drama going on right now at the Baird Wealth Management Open. Salome Devidze and Lea Jansen. And Jansen with the 7-2 lead. By the way, Dave Fleming, I told you I'd keep track of the timeouts.
Time in 7-2.
In our coverage today, this is the 15th timeout. Now they've drawn even 7-7 through the previous 14. Meaning if you call the timeout, good things have happened half the time for you on the other side.
Point.
And that's a great point by Jansen as Devidze, coming out of that timeout, Dave, chose to stay back and exchange ground strokes. Well, Jansen's not going to do that. She's going to find a ball to come in on. She put it in the corner and then stuck a volley.
And that was wide.
I can't overrule that. Ball was out.
Okay, so.
Point.
9-2 Jansen. 2 points away here from taking game 1.
9-2.
It's a nice ball by Devidze there. So very little has gone the way of Salome Devidze here. Let's see if she can at least, maybe build something you can grow into game 2. No, that's not to say she can't come all the way back here, but it is a sizable hole.
Has that one set up perfectly, though, and able to hit the overhand.
Yeah, that's what a tennis overhead looks like here. That's somebody who's played high-level tennis. Point, fire. Rotate that shoulder.
3-9.
And an unforced error there by Devidze. He'll get the serve back to Jansen. 2 points away from taking game 1.
Nine, 3.
Oh, great reflexes by Jansen. And that brings up game point.
Yeah, that ball was low, driven, and to get a paddle on it's one thing, Dave, but to stick a winner off of that position, that's a tremendous shot by Jansen.
10-3. Point game.
And Jansen says it's wide. The line judges agree that it was long, and that is game 1. 11-3, Lea Jansen able to win it decidedly. Game 2 coming your way in a moment.
15 seconds.
Back in Mason, Ohio, just outside Cincinnati, Lea Jansen able to take game 1, 11-3 over Salome Devidze. And Jansen will start game 2 with the serve.
0-0.
Yeah, so let's see if Devidze can put all this controversy behind her and play at the level that she is capable.
Point.
Jansen able to strike first in game 2.
Two-handed backhand working brilliantly today for Jansen. Rips it down the line, and Devidze just barely got a hack of a paddle on that one. That was a weird outcome at the end there.
Nice cross-court winner there by Devidze. Gives her the serve for the first time in game 2.
0-1.
Just long by Jansen to knot it up at 1 apiece.
One.
Devidze had Jansen staying back on that baseline, but unable to take advantage, hits it into the net.
Yeah, went for a big serve, got a short return, and was in control of the point, and then Jansen was able to feather one at her feet.
1-1.
A ball she can make. Went for a little too much.
Wow, how about that backhand? Rips it down the line.
Two, 1. Side out.
And then Jansen into the net will give it back over to Devidze. Lea Jansen, who originally from the Pacific Northwest, and we mentioned played collegiately at Washington State, recently moved to Austin, Texas, however. Felt it was more advantageous to be able to train there year-round with some of the pros and able to execute a beautiful shot there.
Yeah, again, following in a ball before that gets at the feet, come in, find that open court. That's the, if you want a prescription for winning singles in pickleball, that would be it. So can she keep going for the serve? She got a lot of gifts from Devidze on missed returns.
Side out.
And that is long, so the side out's going to give it back over to Devidze. Devidze showing a little bit more
1-2
competitiveness here in this second game than in game 1.
Point.
Great finish there by Devidze to tie it up at 2 apiece.
Yeah, and her heavier serve is putting her ahead in the point, and I expect her to continue to do that. Jansen's going to do more with the return.
2-2. Point.
Jansen knew that one wasn't going to clear the net the second she hit it.
That time Devidze went for a severe angle on the serve, which created an angle off the return from Jansen. So I like the serving selections here from Devidze here in game 2.
Point. Timeout by the receiver.
Another
Scores
point
4-2
for Devidze. She's got a 2-point lead for the first time in this match, and that's going to bring about a timeout by Jansen. So Salome Devidze making some noise. I mentioned in that first match against Catherine Parento, she lost 5-11. And then she came back to win game 2, 11-0. So this is not uncharted waters for her to be able to bounce back.
No, and that shows you that she's able to compartmentalize. You know, unlike a game of baseball or a game of basketball, if you have a bad quarter, that number continues in the final score. Here, these are compartments, and you can have an 11-0 or 11-6 or even to lose 11-9, doesn't matter. You got to win 2 out of 3 individual games. So it's interesting to see
15 seconds.
That the pressure her serve
seconds.
is now putting on the match. It was the Jansen serve and the lack of good returns going the other way. So we've seen a 180 on that. We'll see if that continues.
It's so cliche, but just worry about the next point.
Yeah.
That's all you can do.
That's all you can do. And, you know, I'm sure all that shenanigans before this started, obviously the target was like, I'm not playing unless all this is worked out. That's hard to walk out on the court and have all that in your head beyond playing on a Grand Slam at this tennis facility.
One timeout left, 2.
On the tennis channel
4-2.
for a chance at Sunday. Come on. Now we're getting the match going.
Point.
So the timeout doesn't do anything to stop the momentum.
Except showcase a beautiful two-handed backhand down the line. Again, good deep serve and that short return. And then you're guessing. That's just a bad position to be in when you're coming in.
Yeah, you're not on the kitchen line. You're not on the baseline. You're in bad position. You're leaning the wrong way. And now suddenly you're down 6-2. Or if you're Devidze, you're up 6-2 with a bunch of momentum right now.
6-2. Side out.
And it takes a little love off the net. We're not even bothering with a sorry, not sorry there. Jansen's going directly back to serve.
I need the serve back.
Side out.
Serve will go right back over to Devidze.
6-2.
And that's long, so 7-2 now in favor of
Timeout
Devidze.
called by the receiver. Score is 7-2.
And Lea Jansen is going to use her second timeout as she is 4 points away from having to play a third game. We'll step aside and take a quick break as well. You're watching Tennis Channel's coverage of the Baird Wealth Management Open. So Salome Devidze fighting her way back into this match with a 7-2 lead. Lea Jansen using the timeout, trying to see if she can force the side out. And instead, it's another winner for Devidze, now up 8-2.
So we saw the men playing a lot of the cat and mouse, drop the third, have all those scrambly points here. It's return, come in, either the pass is made or missed, much quicker points.
Whoa.
And Devidze is smoking groundies from
dialed in, dialed in. Yeah, it was such an unusual start to this match. It seemed like Jansen really took advantage of Devidze being a little bit, you know, knocked off of her game by what transpired. But Devidze now has found her footing in a big way. And now she has a chance to be able to win this game. Game point, Devidze.
Yeah, in like 10 minutes.
By the way, I can't help but notice the pickleballtournaments.com logo there by Lea Jansen. I want to shout out Melissa McCurley and her crew do such a great job. If you want to see any of the brackets and see how these players got to where they are, just go to pickleballtournaments.com and you'll find all that information.
Side out.
So that's the first point that Jansen has had control of in forever. So she saved a game point with a nice forehand there. Can she build on it?
2-10. Point.
And the return is long, so Jansen now closes it to 3-10.
$3-10.
That's wide, so it'll make it 4-10.
By the receiver.
And Devidze immediately calls for a timeout. That's her first timeout. Jansen is out of timeout, so Devidze still has one remaining. I mean, Jansen, I guess, you know, she's still got a chance to be able to win this thing in consecutive games, but really at this point, I think trying to just get some momentum to take into a third.
Yeah, you always believe, you know, and most of the points scored in this match have been off missed returns or short returns that gave people at this level way too many options to hit winners on. So
It is.
Why not believe that I can go back there and keep cracking serves and get short
No
returns?
timeouts remaining.
It is interesting. You saw them both go to that same corner. I mean, the tension between these two is palpable.
Oh.
It's the polar opposite of what we saw in the last match, right?
15
Where
seconds.
McGuffin and Davis, there was respect, there was, you know, admiration for each
love
other.
fest. It was a love fest.
And they were playing at an unbelievable level. This has just been tense from the second
in
they both
4:10.
stepped on the court.
Yeah, and we haven't had those types of points to draw the crowd into this either.
Point.
Great shot there by Jansen, and that'll make it 5-10. So it's starting to get a little bit interesting. 3 straight points rolled off by Jansen.
5-10. Point.
And there's another one. Sounds like the crowd trying to get behind Lea now as well.
Yeah, we saw those two-handed backhands all over the
6-10.
place in game 1. Now she's had a couple chances and she's made them. Nice deep serve there.
Oh, quick reflexes by Lea. And make it 7-10. Maybe it's not about momentum for game 3.
She would love an epic 10-point run to close this out. She is halfway home.
7-10. Point.
Make it 8-10.
Timeout's called by the receiver. Scores
And there's going to be the
8-10.
final timeout available for either lady.
And she has paid the price for that choice. And the main reason for that is the depth
Time
and
in,
quality of the
8-10.
serve coming from Jansen.
Side out.
Jansen blows an opportunity there.
Wow, and a very tight return hit by Devidze that hit the net and stayed in. That thing was not hit clean. And then Jansen missed
10-8.
a bunny. So second game point coming up.
Devidze to force a game 3.
Side
That's
out.
wide. Devidze
Go to
asking
me
the
first.
line judge.
Okay, we have to go through the protocol.
You're what? Okay, I could not overrule it. Let me check with this ref first. Over. Okay. Not enough to overrule, Dave and Anisha. Okay. Call stands. Call stands.
So there you go.
Okay, so everyone standing on the court saw that out. Okay, except Devidze.
I'm in 8-10.
Here we go. 2 game points saved.
And all the momentum for Jansen right now.
Side out.
Nicely placed shot there by Devidze.
Yeah, Jansen was throwing it at her feet on the backhand side there, and Devidze was able to fight that off. So here we go.
Game point number 3.
10-8.
And there it is.
Point game.
Devidze able to finally
ends.
close out game 2, 11-8. So we will have a third and decisive game between these two ladies coming from Cincinnati. Cincinnati, Ohio has certainly brought the Chamber of Commerce weather for day 1 of the Baird Wealth Management Open at the Lindner Family Tennis Center. Suddenly I can't talk. Dave
I'll
Fleming.
take it from here, Dave Benz. I got your back, my friend. No, we're, I think we saw an unbelievable run from Lea Jansen. I talked about the serving being a big factor. Devidze wobbling there at the finish line, but hits a big serve, gets the miss. So we'll switch sides at 6 and see who can come up with the magic to get to Sunday.
And a early point here by Devidze. And you mentioned the side switch. There's really not much wind to speak of. The sun isn't really a factor at this point getting into anybody's line of sight. So it's really kind of just more academic that they will switch sides.
Point.
Yeah, little shadows on the end Jansen's on. I doubt that's affecting much of anything yet. And that's, we'll see here, just a really beautiful forehand passing shot by Devidze there. Again, depth of return.
And out to a 2-0 lead.
Side out.
I believe Lea called that out. And
I cannot overrule.
And Devidze is going to
thank you.
Immediately
side
ask,
out.
And the call is going to stay side out.
So we're going to keep grinding the controversy all the way to the finish line here. 0-2.
Point.
Make it 1-2. Lea Jansen, who is type 1 diabetic.
1-2.
And is very disciplined with her diet. Loves cooking, is experimenting with some sugar-free baking when she's not on a pickleball court.
Point.
Yeah, has really worked hard to find how do I monitor everything that that requires, and is able to play at this extraordinary level. So
2-2.
she brings even other things to the court that she has to have to make sure that she's at her finest. And there's her finest two-handed backhand right there.
That was pretty impressive. And puts her back on top 3-2.
And hitting a two-handed backhand it allows you to have your left hand be a part of it, and you can, what we say, hold it, meaning I am not signaling where this is going to the last second, and she whips it cross court. Well done, Jansen.
Side out.
That's long, so side out. Devidze getting the serve with a chance to tie this third and decisive game back up. Winner moves on to Sunday to take on Annalie Waters for the championship. That's going to be wide, so we are tied at 3 apiece.
So if you're not firm on that volley and stick it, the spin off of that cross-court ball will let it fade if you don't have your paddle face just close. She had it open a little bit. Spin of the ball pushes it wide.
Side out.
Jansen gets the serve back.
Yeah, now she's channeling her inner Frank Anthony Davis and got the conversation going with herself, which has not been as frequent as Frank on our prior match, but
3-3.
She is engaged here, ready to go. Love the net cam show of the serve.
Point.
And make it 4-3 in favor of Jansen.
That just caught the baseline, it looks like, from the way Devidze is staring a hole through the court there.
4-3.
Jansen covering all kinds of ground. But Devidze finally hits it wide.
What was the call?
She called it out.
It was out? Thank you. Thank you. Point.
Okay, so more questions, all confirmed by the line judges, and Jansen would love to switch sides with a 3-point lead if she can grab this point. It's a good look at our line judges added to the court.
And that's long. So Devidze now in a 3-point hole as Jansen has gotten all kinds of momentum, and Devidze is hoping that this side switch is going to be able to try to stop the momentum of Jansen. We will step aside while they switch sides. Dave Benz and Dave Fleming along with you here on Tennis Channel as Lea Jansen and Salome Devidze are in this third and final game of the women's semifinal. at the Baird Wealth Management Open. Our final match for our coverage day here on Tennis Channel. Been a very fun day in the first day of this tournament. And out of the timeout, Lea Jansen long, so Devidze will get the serve back.
3-6. Point.
Good
So
low ball there by Devidze. You know, the side switch doesn't count as a timeout, but it really acted it like one there for Devidze to be able to find some focus.
Great backhand there by Jansen.
Yeah, and it was the ground stroke before that that landed deep in the corner, set her up beautifully there. So Jansen looking to add to her lead.
6-4.
And that's out. So 7-4 now in favor of Jansen.
Thank you.
And the constant questioning of if the ball was in or not, it's just going to fuel Jansen because she's going to be more focused. So 4 points from Sunday is Jansen.
Well, and listen, I'm going to just say all the line judges and the officials are human, right? They're going to call it the best that they can.
Right.
But if it's close, you know, you got one player who's kind of being a little bit more animated about it than the other. I don't know if that's going to work in your favor.
Yep. That is a wicked two-handed backhand by Devidze. So takes advantage of a good serve, short return combo. That's just too good.
That was really good. So Devidze trying to fight back here, 5-7.
Side out.
There you hear Jansen saying use it.
Jansen a chance to put Devidze in a big hole here, up 7-5. How about that? 8-5.
Just a picture perfect point. If your opponent isn't going to come in and returns it in the middle of the court, force them to run. And then it's a do or die two-handed backhand there.
8-5.
Jansen hits it short. She knew it.
Yeah, it's interesting. That's not a shot she's hit maybe a couple times in this entire match. Tried to drop a cut two-hander instead of stepping in and rolling the topspin backhand. Does not work for her.
And again into the net. So Devidze tightening this thing up at 6-8.
Same shot, different stroke choice, same location on the net. So we'll see if Devidze tries to find that area again.
Great job by Jansen to catch up with that, and it pays dividends. She gets the serve back.
Man, was Jansen ever pressed at the net. That get was tremendous. It's this next one that's rough. That is right, an unbelievable get.
Yeah, if you're Salome Devidze, you probably feel like you hit a winner there.
Yes. 8-6. And had a good chance on the next ball, but caught the tape.
So instead of 7-8, now it's 8-6 with Jansen having the serve back, but Jansen gives it right back.
Yeah, might have come in one ball too early there. Just put a ball right in the middle of the court, and then you're behind in the point, even though you started it.
That's well long by Jansen.
Timeout, score 7-8.
So Jansen's going to use a timeout with it 7-8. Man, has this been interesting here in game 3.
They're both trying to find what is the formula for me right now so that I can make the winning shot.
And there's your Def Leppard.
Indeed.
If you're just joining us in about hour 1 of our coverage, Dave Fleming was talking about how he just recently saw Def Leppard. This has been an interesting match, to say the least. The way it started, not a lot of drama in game 1, at least not in terms of the play.
Right.
Game 2 got very tight. Now here we are, game 3, just 1 point separating these two ladies as they both try to get to the championship against Anna-Leigh Waters on Sunday. Yeah, you had two people that were within 4 feet of each other that couldn't have been sitting farther apart. It's a showdown. Jansen is hoping that finding a good return here can get the ball back, and then she can go to work. She rattled off 6 in a row in game number 2 to make it close. She only needs 3 here, but it's Devidze with the ball.
Point.
Tied at 8.
And they both know the pressure on the return, because the next ball really dictates the structure of the points. So that's why you want to hit a good return. But man, a miss at this point is a killer.
First 2-11, got to win by 2.
And Jansen screaming use it after she was in deep trouble and got a miss. You saw Devidze choose not to hit an overhead, chose more of a swinging volley and missed it well wide instead of just a little better footwork to get underneath that and hit an overhead. She probably wins the point.
And that's long, 9-8.
Timeout called by the receiver. Score is 9-8.
Devidze is going to use the timeout.
So we were looking at 9-8 the other way on just a little bit of footwork. Now it's game 3. We might be a little bit tired, so you hit a swinging volley instead of just turning that left shoulder to the net, Dave, and hitting a winner on the overhead. Will that be the deciding point here, as Jansen's got a chance to get to a game point with her serve coming up here?
Well, I gave you the timeout totals. I forgot to update the last one, but it was successful. It's 9-9.
Okay. 18
timeouts we've seen on our broadcast day. 9 times it's worked in favor of the person calling the timeout. And the reason I'm bringing it up is because it usually is much more in favor of the person calling the timeout.
And obviously, it's usually called by the receiver. The receiver has an advantage in pickleball, but in doubles, it seems like it works
way more
all the time.
Yeah.
Today, we'll see if it's over or under 50% on this very point.
Well, there you go.
The answer is take the over.
Take the over. So Devidze now a chance to tie up this game and this match. But Jansen has other ideas. She'll get the serve back.
Much safer serve and a very aggressive return from Jansen deep in the corner, and then just sometimes you have the wide open court and you just baby it in there. Just stuck the volley. Perfectly played. Jansen gets the ball back. You know, you heard a lot of the players saying play to win. That was a play to win point on receive right there. Can she do the same when she's serving?
Jansen into the net. Devidze still breathing.
Eight, 9.
Oh, what a shot there by Devidze. And we're knotted at 9s.
And you could hear the shuffling of the feet. You have to get your feet in the right position after a tremendous return. You hear all those feet are the key to that shot. And then a beautiful swing. 99.
Jansen getting the serve back.
Now we've got the energy of the match coming just at the end here. The play level is there. That was a really good couple of balls by Devidze to try and pass Jansen, but she was ready.
9-9.
And Jansen with a match point.
That was you want to talk about a tennis player. That was a gorgeous, chip and charge from the tennis world. Obviously, you can't charge all the way to the net and close. You can only go to the kitchen line, but perfect execution there.
10-9.
Jansen's got a chance.
And there it is. Lea Jansen able to survive against Salome Devidze. It was not easy, got a little tougher each game, but in the end, 11-3, 8-11, 11-9. Not a lot of drama to start, but there was a lot of drama to finish. Yeah, we had controversy before we started, and then we had really high-level play at the end. I think Devidze is going to look at that overhead she chose not to hit and wonder what could have been, but it is Jansen who said, use it. She kept saying use it. Use the opportunity she's had, and she played to win, not play to lose at the end. Sometimes your nerves won't enable you to play that well. Channeled it brilliantly and hits a forehand to win the match. And the temperature still in the mid-70s in Cincinnati, but it was frosty in that corner as they got their gear and parted ways. So here's a look at what we've got coming up for you on Championship Sunday. As far as the singles are concerned, it'll be Anna-Leigh Waters against Lea Jansen in the women's, and then on the men's side, Tyson McGuffin and Hunter Johnson. When we come back, we will hear from the victorious Lea Jansen. Hannah Johns will interview her after this timeout.
Well, welcome back, everyone. After seeing what was an absolutely electric match, Lea Jansen, you're here on court with me now. You're headed to Championship Sunday. Talk about that first game, going into the second game. The second game, obviously you came out, you went down early, but you were able to almost come back, take game 2, but you ended up losing. How tough is it to recover mentally after that?
I actually just kept telling myself, wear her out. So it wasn't really an expectation of winning that game. Towards the end, once the expectation came, then the errors came. But I just wanted to lengthen it, so to tire her out and get the momentum on my side for game 3.
Well, this is not your first time going up against Salome Devidze. Any strategical changes from the last time you two played?
No, she's an extremely tough player, and she's fairly new, so she's just going to keep getting tougher. You basically have to really guess at where she's going, because she's one of the few who can pass line and cross extremely well. So it's just a matter of getting a good return. Easier said than done, though.
Well, obviously a bit of drama on court with the additional line judges that were requested, some of the line calls. Talk about what was going on court.
I think the line judges were not her request, but it turned out I got questioned a lot. So luckily, no overrules. I mean, sometimes you just got to keep going with the flow.
Absolutely. Well, congratulations. That was quite the victory. We're going to see you on Championship Sunday. And with that, we're going to turn it back over to Dave and Dave for some final words.